Hello! And welcome back to my channel for video number 5. Alright, this was a lot of fun to create. It's just a monochromatic red Queen of Hearts, maybe? I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. The description, or the title will say. So yeah, if you want to stay tuned and watch how I created this look, it's very wearable, you know. It's good to go grocery shopping in, laundry, take your dog to the park, bring your cats to the vet. It's completely 100% wearable. I would say it's a daytime look, if anything. Yeah. Henlo friends. To begin, we're going to take some of Kat Von D's concealer in Whiteout. We're going to put that down the center of the forehead, and then we're also going to add some Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand. Using the Beauty Blender, I just blend that out, and I'm going to blend it all the way down to my eyelids and onto my eyelid. I'm not going to set the concealer today because I'm using a red shadow, and I really want the red to be opaque, so I'm not going to bother even setting my foundation or anything today. When using a beauty blender, always pat your foundation in, never swipe, because it's going to create marks into your foundation. Next, just taking a small fluffy brush, I'm taking Sugarpill's Love Plus shadow into the crease. This shadow, in my opinion, takes a lot of building in order for it to be super opaque. So this entire time I'm just going to be adding shadow, blending it out. And you really, when you place down the shadow, place it down where you want the most concentration of color, and then take a clean blending brush and blend it out. This is going to allow for a more seamless blend with eyeshadow. If you take a brush with just a ton of product on it, and then you try to blend that out with that same brush, it's not going to work out very well. So you can see I just flip-flop between a small fluffy brush and a big fluffy brush. One to place product, one to blend it out. Now I'm taking a Real Techniques fluffy brush and I'm going to continue to add color. I like this brush because it picks up a lot of pigment. And then I go ahead and pat where I want the most color payoff, and I really wanted that in my crease just to darken it up a lot. Now we're going to start with the eyebrows. I'm taking just an Anastasia number 14 brush, which is my Holy Grail eyebrow brush, and I'm using Love Plus, the Sugarpill shadow we've been using, and I'm just going to map out where I want my eyebrows. If you mess up, no big deal. Eyeshadow is super easy just to wipe off and start over with, and you didn't set your base, so the hardest challenge of not having eyebrows is when you draw them on, getting them even. Now I take the brush and I flip it over so the long point is facing down, and I flick up to get realistic hair strokes. Then I just fill in the eyebrow with more of that eyeshadow. Because I didn't think that eyeshadow was opaque enough to be eyebrows, I went ahead and took Kat Von D's liquid lipstick in Outlaw, and I'm just following the same shape we've made and just adding in that darker color. Now just on a flat brush, I am taking more of that Love Plus shadow and packing it all over my eyelid. Same technique, you just place the pigment down and pat it in, so you really get an opaque shadow down. Now taking that same number 14 brush from Anastasia, I'm creating a wing. This brush is really good for mapping out wings, but it's not very good for filling in because it doesn't hold a ton of product in it, so I just switched to a thicker eyeliner brush. I didn't feel like there was enough contrast from just that one Kat Von D shade, so now I'm taking NYX Liquid Suede in Cherry Skies, and I'm just going to bring that all the way to the inner corner, creating a ombre effect. I really like how this turned out because it just adds an extra contrast to the eyes while keeping it red. And because I felt like my brows were lackluster compared to that awesome eyeliner, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the brows, what we did to the eyeliner. Next, I'm just taking a Real Techniques flat brush with some of that Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm just gonna carve out my brows. Now taking just one of those brushes from an Anastasia palette, and I'm just taking that flat end to blend out the concealer. Next, taking the two concealers we've been using, and then a mix of Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation in Light Sand with IT Cosmetics CC Cream and Light on a beauty blender, and I'm just blending it all together. I wanted this base to be super pale, so the red was really opaque over it and just stood out. I switch between two beauty blenders, one to blend out my entire face, and then I prefer the black one for underneath my eye. With that same Love Plus shadow, we're just going to add some to the tip of my nose with just some blending brushes. And then I contoured just the edges of my nose because I wanted the nose to not be so flat against that white base. I'm just going to slightly warm up my face with some Physician Formula's Butter Bronzer in Bronzed. I'm not going to actually contour too much. Well, I'm not contouring at all. I'm just going to bronze up just because I didn't want my face to lose its features with that white base. Now I'm just setting my face with some of Urban Decay's All Nighter Setting Spray. And then while my skin is still damp, I'm going to take some of Wet n Wild's Gothographic Highlighter in Moon Tears. And I'm just going to put that on while my skin is damp. That allows the color to be super bright. Now I'm just taking some heart stickers I made with just sticker paper I found around the house. And I'm going to do some blush / contour with that Love Plus shadow. The best thing about the Sugarpill shadows is that the pan is so big, so you can use them for these kind of looks, and you're not worried about using half of your product while using the entire, or using one shadow for your entire look. Now I'm just placing that shadow over the hearts. I use a dabbing motion because it helps blend it out, and then it's also not going to peel up your stickers. Now I'm just going to deepen up my contour a little bit more. Taking a small fluffy brush, I am taking more of that Love Plus shadow, and I'm just dragging it underneath my lash line, and then I switch over to a denser pencil brush just to get a more opaque finish underneath the eye. Now I'm just gonna line my lips with some of that NYX liquid suede. I like to use a lip liner for this if I'm doing like a different shape for my natural lip, because it allows me to have more control over where I'm placing the product, whereas the doe foot applicator is not the best to use in my opinion. I didn't feel like the hearts popped out enough, so I'm just taking some of Red Ochre from the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills and just adding that to the center of the hearts. Now just taking some of that Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Outlaw and placing it into the center of my lip to create a ombre lip. Now time for the faux freckles. Honestly, faux freckles are part of almost every look I do, so I would just recommend getting used to them. I use the same It's Likely Makeup and Furless Cosmetic collab brush. I can't remember the exact name of the brush, but I will link it in the description box down below. Sorry if you hear my cat in the background. He's being super hyper and jealous that we're not letting him be a part of my recording the video. I take a little bit of that sugarpill shadow we've been using and I use that to kind of diffuse the freckles out, so the liquid lipstick isn't so defined and opaque. That way it blends into the whole look. And this takes quite a while. I do several layers. And I'm just gonna do the same thing to my chin. And then magically I grew a wig and a bow tie. I'm just taking that same sugarpill shadow and placing it on my collarbone and then my shoulders. Then taking those same two liquid lipsticks and I'm just gonna add freckles all over my shoulders, collarbones. Basically anywhere there's like a crevice between like your shoulder and collarbone. I think that's a really pretty look and I love doing it. Now just taking some more of the two shadows, Red Ochre and Love Plus, and I'm placing that on my neck as well as freckles, just to make the look more cohesive. Now I'm just placing some chopped up lashes on the bottom. I have lashes on the top. I don't know what I'm wearing. I'll put them in the description box down below. I just have like a jar of cut up lashes. I keep like, when I have to cut lashes to my eye length, because I have shorter eyes, I usually have a pretty good chunk at the end, so I keep those just so I can do this. And then I've cut up a few pair of lashes. I think lashes can definitely make or break a look. Now I'm just taking more of Red Ochre and adding it to my lips. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more of that Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the middle of my lips. And then add the Love Plus shadow over it, just to give more of a ombre effect. Taking that same loose highlighter from Wet n Wild, I'm just going to add it to the center of my hearts just to make them pop more. And now you can make cute faces in the camera. As you guys know from the beginning, this is the finished look. I love it. It was inspired by some art. It was inspired by the artist, I believe it's Minsuki. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, I just kind of thought I would do a monochromatic red look. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I'm still kind of rocky at this and the voiceovers, and hopefully I'll be able to do actual voice videos with you guys. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you thought, if you learned anything cool today, and if you want to hit that subscribe button, I would love to have you here. If you want to give this video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you for watching. You can follow me on my other social media accounts. That's all Fatelay. I'll link it all down below. All the products I use will be in the description box down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.